the channel, these aren't your daddy's starting lineups in more ways than one, as today from Hasbro starting lineup, we've got LeBron James.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for a starting lineup unboxing and review. And today, from Hasbro Pulse, we've got LeBron James. But for all your starting lineup needs, apparently Hasbro Pulse is the place to go, as they are $29.99 right now, and that's where I picked this one up. Of course, if you're a Pulse member, you get free shipping on top of that, and that is a heck of a better price than like the $50 price point they were at. But I believe the reason for the price drop is no longer do they have NFTs with them. So I guess it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for NFTs, you're out of luck. But if you're looking for the figures just to check out what all the fuss is about, that's the place to go to get these guys right now. And like I said, that's what I did. Picked them up on Hasbro Pulse. Now, here is the elephant in the room here, as normally you would think my dad would be here. Of course, my dad and I did do a video together talking about starting lineup figures. When were they first announced? Whenever that was, as you guys know and followed along on the channel here, my dad's joined me on a lot of videos. My dad was a big-time starting lineup collector back in the 80s and 90s. I, of course, collecting alongside of him. We would go to the starting lineup conventions in Ohio every year. I mean, we had a massive collection, very similar to what you see here. My dad had the walls covered with starting lineups, and he had about every single starting lineup figure for many, many years. The thrill of the hunt was there back in the day. We had a lot of fun with that. And, you know, my dad and I, we gave our thoughts in that starting lineup video, so check that one out if you did miss that by chance. But my dad was hoping, I was hoping he would come here to be a part of this with me, and he said, you know what? I hate the Lakers, and he has the old school Celtics-Lakers rivalry, and my dad sticks to his convictions. I do as well, but my dad doesn't mess around, and he hates the Lakers so much, hates LeBron so much, he wants nothing to do with unboxing a LeBron James figure. So that's on me a little bit, because I went through the deck of who do we have, who can I pick up that we could talk about here. I don't know any of these people. I've heard of Stephen Curry. I don't watch NBA, full disclosure, like I've said. LeBron James, I do know. I've heard that name. Obviously, he is a big superstar. So I said, out of all these characters, I guess I'm going to grab LeBron. But what was the guy? Was it, I don't know, Jason Tatum, I think, was the Celtic. I went to originally buy him. He was sold out. So I would have went Celtics, just defaulted to Celtics. Then my dad probably would have came on the channel with me. But LeBron, he says absolutely not. He hates LeBron. He hates the Lakers. He doesn't want anything to do with that. So my dad, he'll have to live vicariously through this. Maybe I can get some action shots of him taking a look at this, maybe. I don't know if he'll even touch a LeBron figure, but that's my dad for you. So we're going to try to do this by myself, and we're going to do this like we do all the other videos here on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And who knows where it goes from here, because I really don't have an interest in LeBron James at all either. I wanted to see what all the fuss is about with these figures. So I figured if I did sell this down the line, I could maybe get my money back on this LeBron. Maybe that's the plan there. So we'll see what happens here. But let's look at the packaging on this. But I do like the packaging. Very different than a traditional action figure. It's like a flip-up box here. But you got the, of course, glamour shot of the figure on the front. New starting lineup logo going on strong right there. Does say Series 1, so apparently more series to come. LeBron James number 6. Very cool. You got a little glamour shot there. Of course, this is plastic-free packaging here. You got the NBA seal of approval. You got the Lakers logo. On the back, you got LeBron. It looks like we get a stand with LeBron. That's kind of cool. And you get a little card action. Do we got a blurb back here? Trading card with protective sleeve and additional hands included. Look at that. LeBron James. F for forward, 6. Series 1. 6.5-inch scale on this figure. Hasbro, of course, warnings, UPCs, all that fun stuff. I will say they did come with this nice thick little magazine here. Very cool. Walks through the line, walks through the characters, walks through each figure in here. Very cool. Reminds me back to almost those old Kenner guidebooks on steroids is what this reminds me of. But this is a cool, nice little addition here that Hasbro threw in. And we have heard Hasbro's going to have other lines like football. Got to think there's going to be a lot of popularity around some of these, but I think myself, my dad, and a lot of you guys watching this, we don't really care about some of these modern players. Obviously, some do, but a lot of us would like the old school legends. Give us the old Celtics players. Give us, you know, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Magic Johnson. I think there's a whole generation that would collect these. that would really like those, and that might be just a tough one to do. I'm not sure, or who knows, maybe they'll do a Cooperstown collection like the back of the old days, if you guys remember those. But let's flip this up. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what all the fuss is about. Look at that. It's a little box here. It's like I'm opening a box of Russell Stover's candy. I want the crispy ones is what I want. The ones that are like a Heath bar. Those are my favorite. So I'll see if I can find one of those in here. But let's dive in, I guess. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what all the fuss is about. Do get the old warning there. See you later. Didn't even go anywhere. What are we doing? What are we doing? But what do we got here? So we got, is this the card? I don't know what this is. It's in its own little sleeve here. You got to be smarter than the sleeve. That makes sense. So this is some serious protection on here. So we got a LeBron card, Series 1. Much like starting lineups of old, of course, they had baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards with the characters here. Very, very cool. It'll be interesting to see what this is worth someday. I don't know. Do you get this something like this graded? Who knows? But it is LeBron Elite. Does it say who makes these? Panini is making these. Panini. Almost like O-Pee-Chee back in the day, if you guys remember that. We do get a nice base here. This is going to be for the stand, I would imagine. Yes, it is. And we got the stand right here. We're going to take LeBron's last stand. If I can get his stand out, pull this out. So it's a nice little flight stand action. I believe it just plugs in the bottom here like any other flight stand. Pretty good. I like the idea of this. A flight stand works really well. Of course, you go back to the old starting lineup days. You do get the Slam Dunk collections. Kind of had a version of a flight stand going on, a crude version, but always fun. Always like those. Love the one-on-ones from hockey, for instance. A lot of good stuff there. We do get that going on with this. So I'm here for that. Going to put that back in the box. This must be LeBron. He's in the parchment paper prison right here. And then we get something here. I'm guessing maybe this is the hands for LeBron. Let's find out what's going on here. Yep, there it is. So we got that. I'm going to put this back in here. See you later. We do get the clasp here. I was wondering how LeBron was going to stick here. So we get another piece there. Very easily puts right in there. It can turn. Ratchet, you can hear it. So we do have that. So a pretty cool flight stand going on there. The new starting lineup logo. You also have stands down here. So if you want them on the court, on the floor, you can, or you can have them up in the air. Choose your own adventure. You can also go to the Hasbro website. They do have a backboard you can buy to really build out your arena, things like that. Very, very cool idea there. And then we're going to get LeBron out. We're going to see what LeBron's up to. I'm sure he's up to no good. If my dad was here, that's what he would say. As I said, my dad hates LeBron. He refused to be in this review with me. I just couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. But refused to be a part of LeBron. But, you know, you got to stand by your convictions every once in a while, folks. But very interesting here, right out of the package. Straighten him up a little bit. But let's look at some of this extra stuff here. I love that we get a hand that has the ball stuck to it. Would have been nice to get a loose ball for sure. I'm sure that is coming. But it's nice to have the hand there with the peg hand. Holding the ball here, you can do one of those moves. My dad was the master. He would palm a basketball, and he'd always put it in my face, pull it back, pull it up, then dunk over me. Nothing like dunking over a 7-year-old Kyle, I'm sure. But very cool. Of course, the cost of these was one of the complaints here, and a lot of the cost is, of course, you're using a human player. LeBron doesn't do stuff for free, as we all know. You're paying Wilson to get the basketball. Of course, Hasbro has to get their fees and stuff. You got to pay for the Lakers. You got to pay for the Nike logos. There's a lot to pay here, making that price point be up. But at $29.99 for an online-only release with all of that stuff, this feels about like the price point they should be at. And maybe for the future, that's the way it's going to go. I guess we'll see what happens in the future there. But very nice hand right there. And then you get 3 other hands here. We get 2 hands. Basically the wide open hands here where he's, you know, kind of guarding, I guess, doing one of those kind of things. So we do have 2 hands of those. And then we do get the 1 hand here. So I don't know if he's a part of the bloodline with Roman Reigns and the Usos. We got the old 1 going on. I'm sure it's him shooting a dunk or something, or shooting a free throw, hitting up the old 1 that he made the 1 point. Who knows? But choose your hand adventure like many other figures there. But now we get LeBron out of the package here, and man, I gotta say, interesting feel here. Now, I would love to get a Dennis Rodman or a Karl Malone that I could do here and customize. I could put them with my wrestling collectors, because this does look pretty good. Out of the package, I have to say, this did blow away my expectations, and it's a far cry from the day of starting lineups back in the day. Basically no articulation, basically a statue with a little bit of articulation. This is a fully functional action figure, and it's funny, as a kid, I never hoped starting lineups had more articulation. I never had dreams of playing basketball games, baseball games, hockey games. It wasn't the same as G.I. Joe, wrestling, you know, Marvel superheroes, where you actually played and did stuff. I never once thought or it crossed my mind, man, I want to have a game with the Celtics versus Lakers. I don't know. I never want to do that. I was a kid that played a lot of sports. I did all that kind of stuff, but it never crossed my mind. I guess I wanted to go to the land of make-believe with my action figures, not real sport events reenacted at home. And maybe you were different. Sound off down below. But LeBron looking good. I wish LeBron came with a fist, though. No fist? What are we doing? He needs to throw those fists every once in a while. But let's walk through the articulation first on here. Arms do go all the way around on here. We do get the bicep cut. We do have double-jointed, pinless elbows. We're playing the hits right here. Hands, of course, side to side, back and forth. Hands are removable. Joints feel fairly tough, fairly good. I like what I'm feeling here, of course. We do get the Lakers jersey. The jersey is not removable here. Do we got butterfly? We got a little bit of butterfly there on the shoulders. Get the side to side there. Yes, we do have a traditional ab crunch underneath, very much like a WWE Elite figure there. He can do those big old LeBron splits. He's known for his gymnastic moves, of course. No thigh cut there. We do got double jointed knees there, pinless knees as well. We do got a sock cut. How about a sock cut? We do have that. And then you got the Nike logo right there on the sock. And then you got the Nike logos on the shoes as well. I'm sure LeBron has his own kind of shoes like Jordan did and Charles Barkley did and everybody else does, I'm sure. Get the side to side on the knees or on the shoes, back and forth as well. Got the purple, yellow, and white shoes. He just got the wrapping on one leg, on his left leg here, and then on his right arm. He's got some of that going on. Like I said, he does have the Lakers jersey number 6. Got the Nike logo. James number 6 on the back. Got the NBA logo going there. Got the NBA logo, the Lakers logo, the swoosh logo in Lakers colors there, and then you got the Lakers shorts. The purple and yellow attack. He looks like he's playing for the Lakers or playing for LSU, one or the other. But it definitely looks like LeBron James. I think if somebody gave me this head and said, hey, who is this? I think I could tell you, well, that's LeBron James. Got the beard going on, got the hair going there. Definitely looks like LeBron. And I could see people that are just a LeBron fan having this for their desk at work, things like that. I think that's the beauty of this line. I don't know if many people will be completionists because most people are, you know, they're in their own world. I'm a Lakers fan. I just want Lakers figures. And I think that's how it's going to go with just one figure of a guy on a few teams. They haven't even made everybody for every single team. I can see people saying, I'm just getting Lakers or I'm just getting my favorite player. But there'll be some completionists out there, as you can imagine there always is. But you do got LeBron here looking like LeBron, except, of course, no tattoos on LeBron. So I understand that. It's a big legal issue there, but really, to me, that takes away a lot from these figures. They really need the tattoos. I have heard there's people, customizers out there that are making tattoos for these. So if you're really interested in that, you might have to Google it, look around, poke around in some forums and things. You might be able to find them, but the NBA is more tattoos than basketball players these days, it seems like. And everybody's got sleeves, and LeBron looks weird without his tattoos. I got to be honest with you here. That is a miss, and that is a little bit disappointing. It doesn't feel like it is totally complete without these. By no means am I an expert on any of their tattoos either, but I definitely know the sleeves and all that going on there. Does he fit on here? I would imagine he does, right? Yep, fits perfectly on that stand, so I do like that. Just to check, does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? Make sure you use the Mattel ones. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. And look at that. So if you are needing a different stand, this is too bulky, too much room, you could use a ringside stand if you really wanted to. You can do that. Does the head pop off? Oh, it does not pop off. So I was like, for customizers, I'm sure you heat this up, it will pop off if you really need it to. But it's very, very interesting, this LeBron figure. Is it a slam dunk? I guess if it had the tattoos, no pun intended, I would call this a slam dunk. This is a pretty good figure. This is what I could see a lot of people looking for as far as a modern day starting lineup. Just without the tattoos, it's missing that. But boy, if you're looking for fully articulated basketball players, football players, baseball in the future, can't go wrong with this. I don't think so. Unless the tattoos really bother you, or you're like my dad, you hate LeBron James, wouldn't have anything to do with it. Maybe you got that going on. Of course, for a little size comparison, I kind of forgot about that, but why not? We'll put him next to me, and I think that's about scale right. I think this would be me and LeBron next to each other. I think that's probably about how it would go, but definitely doesn't scale with our wrestling figures. I do got an AJ Styles figure right here. So yeah, definitely not in scale with any of the other action figure lines. Very smaller and a lot more skinny, not a lot of muscle. I mean, this really looks like a basketball player shrunk down into figure form, where a lot of wrestling figures, superhero figures, they're kind of bulked up than what we normally see, and I really do prefer that. And I would be necessarily against LeBron being a little bit more bulked up, but I could see purists out there saying, nah, that's the way I want it. I need it this way here. But it is LeBron. It is a good head sculpt. It is an interesting take. It'll be interesting to see how this line does. I didn't really have high hopes for it. I think it sold so-so at the like $50 price point, whatever it was, but I think dropping it down to $30 literally could be, pun intended once again, a game changer here for these starting lineups. So very, very interesting. Very interesting in LeBron. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this figure. Maybe we'll just sell it on eBay or something. I don't know, because I really don't have a use for LeBron in my collection. I can't think of any reason. But get me a mailman Karl Malone. Get me a Dennis Rodman. Get me a Larry Bird or any classic Celtics. I'm going to be in. Get me a Thunder Dan Marley. Can I get a Thunder Dan Marley? But I think there would be printing money if they got into some of the Hall of Fame legends. I think there's a whole section of fan base that would really, really like those, and I think that would be a smart move. I think you'd grab a lot of lapsed fans like my dad, for example. He would jump into this line if you gave some of those classic characters, and not even characters, classic athletes, I guess, into the starting lineup line. But for what it is, I gotta say, it's a pretty good figure. As far as taking LeBron out of it, if you like him or love him or hate him, whatever it may be, you take him out of it. It is a very solid figure at the end of the day, and I think it gets the point across. I think it's going to work. If they could get some tattoos to it, that would be the absolute game changer here. But I don't foresee myself buying any more of these. But I'd be interested to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on these? I know a lot of you guys are going to say you're preaching to the choir. Give me the classic guys. Was anybody buying some of the modern ones? Let me know your thoughts. Are you all in? Are you a completionist here? Are you waiting for hockey? Are you waiting for baseball? Let me know that in the comments as well. And of course, you made it this far, you might as well like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day, as you guys know by this point, and we got a lot of stuff to come on the channel every single day. You can also support the channel and get early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, Q&As, giveaways, you name it. A lot going on over there on the old Patreon channel, and it truly is your best way to support all the content here on this very YouTube channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com, pick up a t-shirt, search Kyle Peterson, and don't forget to follow along and hit me up on social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for LeBron James and the Lakers, and a special shout out to my dad, I am Kyle, and I will see you guys all real soon.